Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Rose Thorne here. So, for right now, I'm taking a little bit of a break away from Chantal to give you this much needed, much deserved palette cleanser. So, those of you that are on my channel, you know that I'm a big old nerd. I love my video games and I play PC games. I'm not so much of a console person, but I play a lot of video games. I played a lot of Steam games, and you know my absolute love and passion for World of Warcraft. I'm someone that I played WoW for 11 years, and the only thing that made me stop was when World of Warcraft, when they put out the newest expansion, because of the newest expansion that required higher specs in order to play. And the computer that I had at the time just couldn't cut it. I mean, I literally had everything down to the lowest resolution. And it did okay for a minute, but then once the new expansion came out, it just said no. You can download the game and you can log in, but the moment you try to play, you're going to be stuck in place. So, wah, wah, no fun for me. But the good news is I do have a computer and I've got to put the power supply in it and the video card, and I should be good to go for all the video games so I can do video game content for all of you. Yay! I've been looking forward to that. I want to do something besides Chantal because I know nobody has to tell me that Chantal, she's getting monotonous. She is toxic. It's wearing on everybody's nerves. I understand that. But there are just some people that are still interested in her story. So I do what I can to mitigate the damage by just going through her live streams and cutting out little clips and reacting to them and then going to the comments section and then just leaving the rest alone. But today, I wanted to do something special for all of you because you deserve something special. You really do. Those of you that are on my channel, you've stuck it out with me, you've been watching Chantal and getting aggravated, you deserve this, and I'm going to give it to you. So we're going to take a break from this foodie beauty, and I wanted to react to different creative, unusual, weird setups that people have for playing video games, PC games. Uh, I gathered some of the worst pictures of PC setups and also some really amazing pictures of people that put together aesthetically pleasing, wonderful PC setups and to the point where they're battle stations. And I've got some thoughts on these different battle stations and setups, both the worst and the best. So I gathered all kinds of pictures together and they're all mixed together. It's not like the worst first and then the best second. They're all mixed together. And I've got, as a gamer, I've got a perspective on these setups. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what I see. Okay, so picture number one. All right, so you know what? I don't know what brand of PC this person has. That looks like a pretty big tower. I bet that cost that person a lot of money. And I'm enjoying the three matching screens. I approve of that. It's wonderful to have multiple screens. That way you can be on your game and also do other things at the same time. I like that matching monitor aesthetic. I like the fact that they're all the same and they all like almost link together, but they're separate so you can do different things. But the one thing that concerns me about this is they're playing on their bed. Now, anybody who's not a gamer, you would say, well, that's comfortable, right? Well, not so much, because I can easily see whoever that person is that has that setup, that playing like that with no back support, after a while, that's going to hurt your back. You need that back support. You really do. It's going to hurt your spine to play either laying down or trying to sit up because you're hunched over to the keyboard because there's nothing lifting the keyboard up to hand level. I could also see that that person might have they might get some wrist problems from, like, you know, just trying to hold on to the mouse because the surface underneath is too soft. So a thumbs up for the monitors. I like the monitor setup and it looks like an awesome computer you have, dude. But playing on the bed, just not good for the back. Not good for your arms, not good for your hands. No, just for your overall health as a gamer, and that is important, being able to be comfortable while you play your games and not having to get up out of bed or out of your chair afterwards and you're hurting all over. Yeah, you got to go not just for immediate comfort, but when you play games, you want to be comfortable for long periods of time. What else we got here? Okay, so this is a great setup. Aesthetically speaking, I am enjoying the aesthetic very much, and I appreciate that whoever this person is, that they seem like they're musically inclined because they've got a bunch of guitars. So I applaud that. I applaud creative people. So you've got the guitars hanging up above the computer. You got the two monitors set up. Again, I approve of that also. I think all gamers should have more than one monitor going on. Having more than one monitor is so incredibly helpful. Just in case, like you need to talk to somebody or you want to look up something on your computer, you can do that easily with a second monitor. So having a second monitor and sometimes a third is always a good idea. But I love the whole lilac aesthetic. I like the fact that everything is clean. There's no garbage anywhere. That's important. If you have a computer, you don't want dust and dirt and filth around your PC. You just don't want it. You don't want anything like fur or hair or smoke or dirt getting into your PC because that will screw it up. That will absolutely screw it up. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a battle station. This is a battle station. This is a well done battle station. Okay, we've got this awesome computer over here. I don't even know what these are. I think they're fans. I I'm a nerd, but I'm not at this level yet. So I think they're fans or speakers. I'm not sure, but I appreciate like the multiple monitors. Wait, it looks like what is this? Looks like he's got two computers. All right, you get the money, spend it on the computers. Good for you. So again, nice, clean area. That's important. And another thing that's important is if you play PC games, if you're sitting somewhere, you want to have a desk or something where your legs can go underneath you and you can get close to the desk. Listen, I'm not one to judge people for anything that might not be top notch. You do what you got to do. If all you got to put your PC on is an old dresser or something, you can do that. If that's all you got, I say use it. But I used to have a sort of a dresser cabinet situation going on, and I put my PC on it. And what ended up happening was, you try to get close to the top of the dresser, and your legs cannot scoot underneath you. So you're like your knees are all like up against the wood or the frame, and it just hurts in your sitting position. So you're uncomfortable. And again, when you're gaming, you need to be comfortable. A lot of people look at gamers and say, why are they so into buying like the gamer chairs and the weird mouse and the weird keyboard? A lot of that stuff isn't just designed for aesthetics. They're designed for comfort. Again, when you play games, you want to be comfortable. So you'll go for those weird keyboards if it means you can play them and your fingers and your wrists are not going to cramp up. Same thing with the mouse. I mean, sometimes if you get the wrong mouse, if it's a cheap mouse, after about an hour of playing, your wrist starts to hurt, your fingers start to cramp up, and you're like, ow. So sometimes spending a little extra money on the gamer gear, it just adds to the overall comfort of gaming. Same thing with a good monitor. You want a good monitor where you can see. If you're someone that you're sensitive to light, you might put a little film over your screen so that the brightness doesn't hurt your eyes. I've got bad eyesight, so I would be all for that too. But the better your equipment, the better your setup, the more it adds to your comfort, the better. It just makes for a better gaming experience. But this isn't just a simple setup. This is a battle station, and I appreciate every bit of it. Okay. Okay. So that was a battle station, and this is, well, what can you say? Like I said, I understand that not everybody has a bunch of money to spend on the gaming chairs. Not everybody has 100 or 200 or $300 for a gaming chair. As I said, you got to do what you got to do. But this setup right here makes me nervous. It makes me flat out nervous. This simple chair, this looks really, really uncomfortable for a long gameplay. This looks like something that after about an hour, your butt's gonna hurt because there's no cushion. You could put a simple cushion or pillow or something on it, it would be better, but this chair looks flimsy, like you sit on it the wrong way and you're gonna go flying. And what's really making me nervous is they've got the keyboard on the concrete blocks, they've got the mouse on concrete blocks, and what's going on with the monitor? How is that set up? I can't even tell. But all this stuff is set up on concrete blocks, and it doesn't look like they're very sturdy. I can see, you move wrong, and if you try to get up, the keyboard's going to go flying, the mouse is going to go flying, and even worse, because they're concrete blocks, there's a chance that you get up and one of those is going to come crashing down on your foot, and then you got to go to the hospital. So it's, I mean, it's a very crude setup, but it also looks like it's kind of dangerous. Like it's bad for your health. What that person could do is put those concrete blocks to where there's no chance of them falling down. Like, as far as the keyboard, they could take two more concrete blocks and put them on their sides downward and kind of form like a table setup and make like a little table. That way the keyboard and the mouse are together, but not have it to where one is facing upward like with the mouse, and the other one is on the side on top. That just looks like a disaster waiting to happen. This looks like, an emergency room visit waiting to happen. So, I don't know who you are, dude, that you made this setup, but I'm afraid for you. Looking at this, I am afraid for you. I'm afraid something's going to happen to you, and you're going to move wrong, and then your equipment's going to get messed up. I'm just saying, this looks unsafe. Now, this is unusual. This is really unusual. This person is using a grocery cart, and I give points. I give points for thinking about the gaming, and you want to have room for your legs. You don't want your legs to be all scrunched up. So I give points for thinking and creativity. Uh, but this is just something I've never seen before. Using a grocery cart as a desk, points for creativity. But the only thing that I keep thinking about as a gamer is, how is it that your keyboard is in front of you, and how does it not slip and slide around when you're moving your fingers on the keyboard? How does it not slip and slide around? That's got to make for difficult gaming that way. So it looks like you're sitting on some sort of a stool and you've got the grocery cart. I would think like a regular, just like coffee table would be better. There'd be room for your legs underneath, but that is certainly a very unusual gaming setup. I guess it's one of those things of, you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. And I admire people's passion and creativity for just thinking outside the box and putting things together. That doesn't look like for comfortable gaming. Oh, here we go. Yes. Yes, you gotta listen. That's a battle station. That is a very pretty, aesthetically pretty, well thought out battle station. Everything is aesthetic, it's on point. You got the two monitors, you got the computers on the floor. As a gamer, I will say, I'm not really one that I approve of towers being put on the floor, just because of the fact that I when it comes to towers, PC towers, as I said, they've got a fan inside the towers, and anything that's in your room, any kind of lint, any kind of dirt or in the air, or fibers or anything, the fan is going to suck that into your PC. So maybe having it off the floor would be better. A lot of people put theirs on the floor. If they have a really clean house, then I'd say, okay, I got it. You got a clean house. You don't have to worry about that stuff. But from my gamer standpoint, I would just think it's better to put it off the floor somewhere. But I do appreciate this person's setup. It's clean, it's attractive, and I appreciate the fact that obviously they're into vaporwave. They've got the beautiful vaporwave colors. They've got the vaporwave aesthetic going on here. I guess that's what they were going for, and you did a good job with that. Whoever you are, you did a really good job doing the vaporwave gamer thing. I appreciate that. But well done on making this vaporwave sort of battle station. This is an epic battle station. I could never do it. I have a very small apartment. This is something that takes up an entire room of your house. The more room you have to work with, the more creative things you can do. If you've got limited room, you really can't do a whole lot. You can do some things, but not everything. But good God in heaven, look at all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, multiple monitors. I got a feeling this person that they made this battle station because there's someone and they play games where they go on raids with people. And so maybe they have other people come over and that way they can have their raid mates come over and join them in a raid. I mean, because just monitors everywhere, monitors all day. So many monitors, so many. It's a really well thought out, beautiful area. Again, notice with all these battle stations, there's no clutter, there's no garbage, everything's clean, the floor is clean. I mean, if you care about your equipment, and you should, because gaming equipment is not cheap. If you are passionate about gaming and you care about your stuff, then you should take care of your stuff. You shouldn't let it get trashed, because that's just silly. You pay all that money for something and then you're going to expose it to dirt and all that. No, if you care about your stuff, you'll keep it clean. So well done on this battle station. Although it's like, I don't have enough eyes for all these monitors. I wouldn't be able to see all. This has got to be for like multiple people. Maybe this person has a family and they game too. So this is like their gaming room. I think that's what this is. But well done, well thought out. I appreciate that. Okay, obviously somebody got mad at their laptop. We've all had laptops like this, but they're just pieces of crap, and you just get so mad you want to smash them. Laptops are they're not computers that you keep around forever. They're pretty much throwaways. So who hasn't experienced the joy, the rage of wanting to throw it against the wall? It looks like this person actually did it. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me explain what's going on here. It looks like somebody wanted to play on a laptop and maybe one part didn't work, maybe the keyboard part. So they took it apart and they kept this electronic part of the keyboard and they wired somehow this part to this part so that both parts would work. And to make sure that the laptop part does not overheat, they're using like a big fan. Hey, you know what? Whatever works. Again, I am amazed sometimes by the creativity of people. Like it's a question of how badly do you want to game? How much passion do you have for whatever game you're playing? If you're in a situation where you don't have thousands of dollars and you want to play, you've got limited means and limited resources, you will think outside the box. You will get creative. And so this person decided, you know what? I'm going to get creative. I'm going to think outside the box and I'm going to think my way around a problem. And look, they did. They found a way to make it work. I'm just going to go ahead and put a big old floor fan right in front of the laptop thing so it doesn't overheat, so it's not going to get too hot and melt. I'm going to use a regular keyboard. So like, this is some geek type stuff here. Mad respect for that. It's unusual, but what's amazing, I'm sure it actually works. Here's another gaming station. And again, loving the aesthetics. Everything matches. You got the gaming chair that matches the computer. You got the wallpaper on the monitors. everything matches. You got to love people who put the aesthetics together. And I really love this down here. For those who are wondering, what in the world is that? I can tell you what that is. That's a place to rest your feet. You know, I'm 5'4", and the desk that I have for my computers, for my monitors, it's a bit high up, and my computer chair does not reach as high. And when I try to put my feet on the floor, my feet don't touch the ground. It's just like that. So you know, if your feet sit like where they're basically off the ground, you know, after a while it starts to hurt your legs, starts to hurt your feet. So this is a footrest. So when you're gaming, you can put your feet on it, and that way it's much more comfortable. I'm actually got my feet on a big book underneath my desk. And so I thought my way around the problem. You know, I don't want my feet to be uncomfortable. So I don't have the money for a footrest like that, but I'll just use the book. So like I said, with gamers, you think your way around a problem, you know? So if you got the money, you got the means and the resources, you can do something like this with the multiple monitors, make them look all pretty, and you know, the wallpaper and the lights and all that. I mean, this is actually a beautiful setup. This is what happens when you're in a raid and then everything glitches and you're right at the end of the raid. This is what happens when you're having a duel and you lose the duel. This is what happens when you try to log in to say World of Warcraft when the expansion drops and you're stuck in queue for 2 hours. This level of rage right here, that's what causes that. You know what? I can relate to this kind of rage. I can relate. I remember long ago when Mr. Pandaria dropped in World of Warcraft, everybody logged in at the same time. And what starts the expansion off was the beginning quest, and everybody was trying to do the quest, and there were so many people that nobody could get them done. It was just insanity. So I understand this level of gamer rage. Although I've never had this kind of rage, I've never followed up on my thoughts. I've always thought to myself, look, you know, you don't have the money to replace monitors and keyboards, so maybe not do that. But some people just get caught up in the moment, and this is what happens. Um, like I said, I, I'm no one to judge somebody's financial situation, but the only thing that comes to mind when I look at this is you got a computer in an area with all that dust and dirt, and that's going to get into your machine and cause problems. Problems. I mean, anything like that is sensitive to dirt and dust and smoke and all that. You got to keep all that stuff away from your computer. It's not good for it. You can't have anything filthy around. There are a few things that I find disturbing about this photo. Okay, the fact that you know, he's got the monitor, and again, if this is all you can do, not judging you, but as someone with really bad eyesight, I would think that such a small monitor would put a strain on your eyesight. You know, like staring at that little tiny screen for hours, how much that would hurt your eyes. I mean, even with a much bigger monitor, sometimes my eyes will strain and I'll feel how tired they are. But another thing that concerns me, bro, you're sitting on a log. Does that not hurt your butt? How does that not hurt your butt? That can't be comfortable. There's no cushion, there's no back support. One wrong move and you're going to go flying to the floor. And considering that your desk doesn't look very sturdy, I can almost guarantee you if you start to, you know, start to weeble wobble, it's going to natural instinct. You're going to grab for the desk so you don't, and then everything up here is going to go flying. So I just, you know, mad respect if you can sit on a log and be comfortable, but that just doesn't look comfortable to me. That looks very, very uncomfortable between the monitor being really small and this you're literally sitting on a log. How does your butt cheeks not hurt? How do they not hurt? They've got to hurt. That would hurt me. I got a big old butt. Ah, I love this. Can we just stop and appreciate this? Let's stop and appreciate this. The wonderful aesthetics, the thought that went into this. And another little feature that I'm noticing that this person put into the aesthetics, that's actually, it's something that adds to the gaming and helps with the gaming. Okay, these things up here. You know what these are? These are basically to help with the sound, you know, to absorb the sound. Because when you're gaming, sometimes it can get really loud. So you might put something on the walls to absorb the sound. So even though these look like simple decoration, they're not. It's to absorb some of the sound in the room, to where if somebody is in the next room, it kind of cuts out the amount of sound filtering through the walls. So great job in designing your battle station. Love the beautiful lights. Love the fact that everything is clean. And you even incorporated these into your aesthetic, to where it's, nobody would think that it's something to absorb the sound. They would just look at it as really cool aesthetic that you've added to the room. Another wonderful battle station. So we got one main monitor over here. This person might have multiple people living here, and that's why there's two monitors, but you got one main monitor here. You've got the three gaming monitors, again, all lined up. You got the computer over here. And I like this. I like the fact that it's not on the floor. I don't like computers on the floor. It makes me nervous. But loving all this stuff on the walls. I don't know if these are for absorbing the sound or just like the pretty like color aesthetic. I suspect that maybe they are for absorbing the sound. And again, that's a smart idea. If you're gaming and you know you're loud, you know your computer is going to be loud, put something on the walls to absorb the sound, to where you won't bother other people in the house if you got other people living with you. I'm jealous of this person. I'm jealous of this room. I am. Because you've got, even though this area is not got like pretty colors and aesthetic, you've got the main battle station with the multiple monitors. But look, I mean, not only are they into playing PC games, but you got the old school arcade games that I remember growing up with. You got Miss Pac-Man, you got Galaga. So this person is very passionate about their games, and they've got all kinds of stuff over here. So this is a room for gamers, like all kinds of games. This is a little hobby room, but it's really well thought out. You've got huge office desks that curve inward to allow for more room over here for anybody who wants to come in and play. Although I think the only disadvantage to having a room where you've got multiple types of games, like say pinball machines or video games, is while you're gaming, you want to focus on the game. So if somebody comes in and let's just say they're playing Galaga or Miss Pac-Man, you're trying to focus on your game, you're trying to listen, and somebody's got another video game across the room from you, the two sounds are going to mix together. That would bother me. But I do appreciate the different kinds of games in the room. Listen, I grew up in the 80s. Yes, I did. And I remember the Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels were once the thing. And I pulled up this picture because I can appreciate the Hot Wheels aesthetic for a computer. I appreciate it. I think it's cool. You know, it's a callback to something from childhood, and somebody had a great idea and they brought that into the computer world. I appreciate that aesthetic. It's unusual. It's cool. Love it. Okay. So again, this is a really, really well thought out setup here. Multiple monitors, all of them match. And you don't have to have all of your monitors be the same type. That's just more for like an added smooth aesthetic quality. I mean, right now, as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I don't have all kinds of money to go out and buy a ton of new monitors so they all match. All the monitors that I have, if you want to be honest, they came from dumpster diving because people would, get new computer setups and they would put out monitors that worked just fine. And I would bring them home and, set them up. And that saved me about $40, $60 of getting a new monitor. So my monitors sort of kind of match, but yet don't. They're not all the same size. I've got two, like my all-in-one has got the biggest screen. Then I've got one to the left that's almost as big as that, and then the one to the right is much smaller. But that's because I've only got so much space on my desk. Like I've got three monitors set up. For two, I've got my all-in-one. The all-in-one has a monitor connected to that. And then the remaining space on my desk has a monitor that is connected to a desktop, which is on a table right next to it. I mean, I'm trying to maximize the space. But back to this setup, I appreciate the fact that they've got all this different stuff on the walls, which that helps to absorb the sound. They've got this separate area for all of their headphones and, like little doodads that go to their game so they can easily find them. I'm really liking the jungle aesthetic. That is cool. But clearly there was a lot of thought that went into the process of, I'm going to make a gaming room. I want a room where I can play my games and not disturb anybody else in the house, or if they live in an apartment or a house or something, they're not disturbing their neighbors and nobody can bitch and say, you're being too loud over there. And for anybody out there that if you're wondering, like, what's the big deal about gaming chairs? Are they better than office chairs? It all depends on the gaming chair. Like whatever you decide to get, whether it's a gaming chair or an office chair, you got to take into consideration one important thing: comfort, long-term comfort. Because a comfortable office chair that you can sit in for hours and play is much better than a very expensive gaming chair. The moment you sit in it, you're not comfortable. If after an hour you're uncomfortable, then that's the wrong chair for you. So some gamers will have office chairs that work perfectly fine, and then other ones splurge for the really nice, pretty racer car type gaming chairs, and that adds more to their aesthetic. But I say, as a gamer, go for comfort, and always pick a chair that has some kind of cushion on the bottom. Make sure it's got some back support. Make sure it's got some head support. Again, it's all about comfort. You don't want to play video games for hours and then that leads to severe back problems. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Always go for comfort first. But he's got all of his walls lined up with this stuff to absorb the sound. He's got the multiple monitors and he's got the big monitor. And look, he's even got speakers, so he's in surround sound. It gets pretty. You must get pretty loud in there for him to line his entire walls with that stuff to absorb the sound. Well, I'm not quite sure how that's comfortable. I would think that would be hurtful towards your back. Just being in that position. Again, I give thumbs up to whoever thought of it, because obviously they were thinking outside the box. Maybe they didn't have a desk and a chair, so maybe they had a bed trying to make it work. But all I can think about when I look at that is backache. Backache, and like because of the position they'd have to be in to sit down, they would have to press their hand kind of harder down on the mouse and gripping their mouse a little bit harder. That would hurt my wrist. That would absolutely hurt my wrist. I don't know if I could do that. That just thumbs up for thinking of something unusual. I just don't see how that would work for more than a few minutes. Okay, I'm confused by this. As a gamer, I am confused. Why are you gaming in a bathroom, in a bathtub? I don't understand. I don't get it. How can you game on a laptop in a bathtub. Because the thing about laptops is you have to keep them elevated. Their fan is underneath. That's why you got to keep them elevated, because if you put a laptop on a flat surface and the fan cannot suck in air, your laptop is going to overheat and then it's going to shut down on you. And I got questions. I trying to game and you're sitting in the bathtub and you're turning your body to the side. Ow, twisting your spine like that. That just, oh no. Girl, why? Why? What is, are you doing a slumber party in the bathroom? I don't understand this. I'm confused. I mean, there's other rooms in the house. Why are you gaming in the bathtub? Are you having a fight with somebody and you want to get away from them? I don't get it. And another question. Okay, so you got this mouse right here. When you use a mouse, it needs a flat surface to glide on. This does not look like a flat surface. How would this even work? You're going to try to move your mouse and the blanket's going to move too. How does any of this work? I just want to see this in action so I can understand. You know, I just got questions. All right, so we've got an exercise bike with a milk carton and a laptop. So where's the mouse? Where's your mouse? How do you use your mouse? There's no mouse. Where's the mouse at? Where does it go? This makes me nervous. They zip tied the laptop to the milk carton. I would be so afraid of all that coming down. And considering how this person has wood floors, if this laptop hits, it's going to hit hard. They don't even have a blanket or anything around the bike that if it does happen to fall, that there might not be any damage. It's a wood floor. It's like tile. It's going to hit really, really hard and you're not going to have a laptop no more. But I've got an exercise bike that looks exactly like that one. And I'll tell you from experience, those seats are the spawn of Satan. They're not comfortable. They're not comfortable, especially now for gaming. Points for being creative, but I'm going to have to take off a few points for, like, I don't see how this could work. There's nowhere is there a mouse. There's a chance of you ruining your equipment. If that falls, you're not thinking about the care of your equipment by doing this. I see this and I want to cover my eyes and go, dear God, don't let that computer fall. Oh, ooh, look at this. This right here, you know, I'm a nerd. Some women may get excited over a walk-in closet with lots of clothes. Others may get excited by Chanel or Balenciaga. This is my jam right here. This right here. This, different things get different people excited. A setup like this gets me excited. We've got the padding on the walls to absorb the sound. We've got all these different monitors with the one monitor up top. You got 3 on the bottom. You got this computer on the side. And it looks like it might be, I don't know if it's water cooled or not. Never had a water cooled computer, but it looks amazing. Like they've spent some money on it. And you got a chair. This thing looks comfortable. That looks really comfortable. Like this person was thinking of comfort before they were thinking of the aesthetics, and the aesthetics came later. But once they put the aesthetics in, it all pulled it together. But everything looks beautiful. This is a well thought out battle station. Well thought out. You can tell this person spends a lot of time here. Everything is top notch. Well done to you, sir or ma'am. Well done. one thing comes to mind with this. Why? Just why? Why? No. No, 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 no. Why? It, no. From every standpoint, on every level, no. Why would you put your laptop on top of a dirty litter box? No. Just no. The laptop fan is sucking in all of that dust and the filth inside of the motor. No. No. Hey, you know what? Whoever you are, do you see this table? That's where the laptop should go. You should put it on the table, elevate it up with a couple of books, put it on the table. You don't need it here. Okay, this is not where it goes. As a matter of fact, you need to take this table, move it away from the litter box so that whatever dust and whatever else is going on here will not have any chance of being sucked in by the motor fan. Put it over here. Take the laptop, put the table over here. No, just no, absolutely not. Litter boxes go in their own special areas, and computer stuff should go nowhere near that. No, no, absolutely not. Okay, so why did I pull this up? Because somebody spilled coffee on their computer. Once again, if you got a computer, you got to keep everything away from it. You're a smoker, you cannot smoke around a computer, not around a laptop, not around a desktop, because the fans will suck in the smoke. I knew someone that was a heavy smoker. He smoked around his computer, and then all the tar and everything got inside his computer and messed it up. And I even have a funny story. Y'all want to hear the funny story? This is funny and true. And keep in mind, at the time, I was just a newbie. I didn't know these things about computers. So I'm a big lover of incense. And I would always burn my incense on top of the desktop. Don't yell at me. I didn't know. I didn't know. But I had like my little incense sticks burning right above my computer. And I burned a lot of it. And then my computer started to act wonky. Took it to a Best Buy or something. And then when the guy opened it up, he could smell the incense inside the computer. So that's what I mean. You can't burn any kind of incense around computers. You can't smoke. You got to keep them free of dust and dirt and filth. You just cannot, because all of that stuff will clog up a machine. And when that happens, then you have very expensive problems. You got to treat them, with kindness. You got to be careful of what they get around. Somebody spilled their coffee. Yeah, that'll mess up your computer. Coffee doesn't belong in one. Okay. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot. So we got the big monitor. Okay, good. But we've got an ironing board, and we've got the keyboard on the ironing board and the mouse. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. I don't know if this person was using the exercise bike in place of a desk, or maybe they thought, you know what, since I'm playing video games, I might as well exercise while I'm doing it. So maybe multitask. That might be the intention. I would like to see this in action to see if it could actually be done. But the moment I saw the ironing board, I'm like, what? What? I'm telling you, gamers are very creative. They will think their way around a problem. Sometimes they'll come up with unusual solutions that for them work. I'm not judging anybody that doesn't have an expensive battle station. It amazes me the variations and things that people will do when they really, really want to game, when they're really passionate about it. Just an ironing board for a table. Who would have thought it? Okay. Okay. So this person is actually, it looks like they're a neat freak, and they're all about organization. They've got the big monitor. I guess the keyboard goes here, and they've got all their consoles and everything lined up underneath in order. I applaud you for being that organized, for caring that much about gaming that you're like, I'm going to keep everything organized because I care about my equipment. I don't want anything happening to it. I don't want it getting filthy or dirty. Yeah, I approve of that. If you pay $300, $400, $500 for a console or $1,000 for a computer, it only makes sense to take care of it. So I applaud your organizational skills. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. That is a gamer's worst nightmare. To have a computer and it catches fire. Or like my nightmare, I had a gaming computer and the motherboard fried. That's how I was able to play World of Warcraft, was my gaming computer. And then the motherboard fried. I was very, very sad that day, and I've been sad ever since. But the ultimate nightmare, your stuff catching fire. What do you do? Well, there's only one thing you can do: cry, rage, start saving for another machine, because there's no saving that. Once it burns up like that, it's burnt. Computer's burnt. All right. Yeah. I don't know the story of this computer, this setup. It looks like maybe at one time that table was flat, and then that person got into a raid and they were hoping for an epic drop and they didn't get it. Somebody else got it, and so they raged out and hit the table. But I just can't see playing like that. No, that's gonna fall, dude. Whoever you are, listen. Take the monitor and the keyboard off of that, because that whole thing is gonna collapse. And even worse, hey, listen, your tower is right underneath this. No, move it, move this, move it. All all this stuff is gonna fall down each other, and they're all gonna get ruined. Big no for me. All right, so another musical slash video game station. So you got something there for the music here. You've got the keyboard, different monitors. Would have liked to see this monitor over here, but I understand that if the person is doing music, maybe they're doing some kind of music editing online, they want this here and real close by. So I would think maybe something that would help what they're doing is to get a bigger table for more space to put everything all close together. But they got a decent setup. It looks like the table's a little bit too small for everything they want to put on it. But a great setup nevertheless. All right. You with the epic battle station. I'm jealous. you you got look what in, you are you got a degree in engineering? Good Lord. Look at all this stuff. They're not messing around. You know that this room stays clean because everything's exposed. 5 monitors, 2 computers, everything that's just awesome. They are not messing around with their gaming. Not at all. Without even saying a word, I'm giving you a thumbs up for that background. Yes, I am. You get a thumbs up for the Horde Alliance background. But honestly, as a fellow World of Warcraft player, my friend, whoever you are, get a second monitor. I just can't see that little bitty laptop thing being good for gaming. You got the one main monitor, great, but that little laptop thing, time for an upgrade. that I just want you to get the best gaming experience. 2 monitors, trust me, you will love it. You will thank me if you hear this. You will absolutely thank me. I understand you might be in a situation where you got to do what you got to do. I get that, and I'm not looking down my nose at you for that, but trust me, get a second monitor, hook that up to the first monitor. You'll thank me later. I saw this picture and I'm like, what? That chair looks worse than Chantal's kitchen chair. That chair looks like a pile of cats had a fight on it and nobody won. That doesn't look comfortable. That doesn't look doable. That looks a mess. I mean, if that's the only chair you got, you can't use a wooden chair with a cushion on it. The least you can do is find some way to cover up that to where you're not feeling the rips and the tears and stuff and it scratches your skin. Dude, how does a chair even get in this condition? Where did you get this chair? We got to have a conversation about this chair. We've got to. Got to. Please find another chair. You deserve better than this. You need better than this. That chair just ain't cutting it. It's a lost cause. It really is. That chair, no. I mean, I looked at this picture and the first thing I saw was this. I wasn't even looking at this. You got the monitor, you get the keyboard and everything. There's nothing wrong with this. It's very basic. It's a starter. You guys already know how I feel about, towers being on the floor, especially if the room is small, cramped, and dirty. This needs to be put on a table somewhere just to keep the dust and the dirt out of it. But let's talk about this chair. We could have an entire conversation about this chair. It's bothering me. It looks painful. Points to whoever did this for creativity, for thinking outside the box, points to you. That would just hurt the crap out of my eyes. It would. It would hurt my eyes so much. This would hurt my eyes so very, very much. Because I'm going to stare at your camera. That would hurt my eyes. I got bad eyesight. That would drive me nuts. But hey, maybe you didn't have a monitor. Maybe you couldn't get a hold of a monitor, so you thought your way around the problem. For that, I give you 2 thumbs up. This is just an unusual setup. I would like to see it in action to see how it works and how successful it is. I'm like, what? So I thought I'd share this with you guys. Oh no. More gamer rage. Let me guess what happened to you. You got mad. You got mad because you lost a duel. You were in a raid for 3 hours and you wanted an item and it dropped and somebody else got it. You lost the roll. You got mad and you weren't thinking and you threw your laptop and this is what happened. Okay, so points for not having furniture and making furniture out of boxes. But I know how heavy monitors can be. So I just don't see how those boxes are going to be sturdy for very long. And that might ruin your equipment if it falls. I would think the safest thing to do is to take a couple more boxes and put them on each side to kind of balance out the weight so that this does not fall. You don't want this to fall on anything. And by the way, where is your tower? I don't know where the tower is at, but it's hiding somewhere. But knowing how heavy this is, I just don't want them just falling on your stuff. But I hope that whoever did this, that you get some better equipment and furniture in the future. That way you can have a better gaming experience. Really? Really? No. 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 Mm-mm. Gaming in, it looks like a basement and there's dirt and filth and dust everywhere and you got your gaming console down and all of that. Dude, that looks like a disaster waiting to happen. You're going to get dirt and filth all inside your machine. Then you're going to wonder why it's not going to work one day. Maybe that's an area with a lot of moisture. It's just, I mean, if that's your gaming area, that's your gaming area. I just don't, if you're going to game into a place like that, at least make it safe. Clean the area up. Make it to where you're not going to get sick down there and your equipment's not going to get messed up. I'm not even sure how safe that is. Like, is that a basement? Is that an attic? I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like someplace with a lot of light. It looks like someplace with a lot of moisture. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust that with my computer. Yep. Okay. So somebody was thinking outside the box. I guess they needed like a fan, an internal fan for their computer. Maybe they didn't have access to one. So they just simply took a regular desk fan and taped it. Oh, points for creativity, points for thinking outside the box, points for thinking your way around a problem. You were obviously concerned about your computer. You understood that if you didn't have a fan, it was going to overheat, which meant that your whole computer might shut down. So I give you points for thinking about these things, but I recommend a internal fan. And they're not that expensive. Please get one. And that way it would work better for you and also for your PC. But at the moment, you had the fan and you used it. It's just unusual. This is the stuff of nightmares. This right here. This is a gamer nightmare. Like, this is nightmare fuel. I want to scream looking at this. The area is filthy, dirty. It's coated in God knows what. Nasty. No, no, no. Uh-uh. No. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to game there. I'm sorry. I look at that picture and you know what I want to do? I want to just start cleaning everything up. The gamer in me is offended by this filth. It's offended. I want to get some soap and water and just and towels and wipes and compressed air and just start cleaning everything, everything. Because I would like to see how it would look all cleaned up. You don't even really notice the equipment as much because it's so dirty. It's filthy. Oh, it's dirty. It's so dirty. I would not touch this keyboard until I wiped 10 layers of filth off of it. Same thing with this phone, this old school phone. You can't even see what's on the monitor because the screen is so dirty. Everything needs to be power washed. Listen, I don't know who you are. Like I said, if you got a basic setup, that's okay. That's okay. You got to start somewhere. But for God's sakes, man, keep your area clean. Keep it clean, keep it tidy, keep it organized. It's only smart because if you're spending money on your equipment, you want it to last a while. And if it's dirty and filthy and covered in crud, it will not last as long. It's cheaper to take care of your stuff and keep it clean. And it's more expensive to be lazy and let crud build up all over it because then you got to buy it all over again when you don't have to. After that last monstrosity, I welcome this photo. Lord, we needed this. Loving the aesthetic. I love the purples. I love the pink. Sorry, I'm into vaporwave stuff, and vaporwave is all about the 80s, beauty salon, pink, lime green, yellow, pink aesthetic. Love it. So I'm loving the design here. I'm loving the lights. You got the monitors. Yes, all of this is clean. And I approve of you putting your PC up on the desk where it belongs. You guys can fight me. Those of you that have your PCs on the floor, I just told you why I like the PCs off the floor. Because I think putting them on the floor, they're more exposed to dust and dirt on carpet or floors. And that means it gets sucked into the fan. That's the only reason why. It's just better for the machine itself. But I'm appreciating this area right here, right now. What? Okay, Mr. or Miss, whoever you are. Why? Listen, why? Just why? There's no reason for this. All of this needs to go in the kitchen. Why is this on the floor? This is not healthy. Maybe get like a little cabinet or something you could put like right here. There's all this space. You know, get some bookshelves or something and put some of this stuff on a bookshelf or take the trash out or something. This is bad. When you're a gamer and you got all this going on, this is bad. This is nasty. There's no choices were made and they were bad choices. Very bad. Ooh. So we've got the padding on the walls to absorb the sound, multiple monitors. Obviously, they're a YouTuber. They got their ring light. You got the keyboard down here. You got two keyboards. Maybe they live with somebody and they share keyboards, or maybe this person has different things going on with different computers, so they need two keyboards for that. Loving the whole setup. A lot of thought went into this. A lot of putting things together. So I give that a 10 out of 10 for sure. That picture just came out of nowhere. Sorry. So this is a mess. All right. Let me just back it up a bit. Back up. There we go. Okay. Old school monitors. Nothing wrong with those. If you want to use those, some people prefer the aesthetic of them. I'm nervous about this. I'm really nervous, but I will say that there's not a whole lot of like garbage junk around them as far as food, so that's good, but this could be better rearranged. It might be better with some other monitors, like some thinner monitors. Maybe they might have more room on their desktop. They don't have a whole lot of room going on with a desktop, so when you've got a small desk area, you want to maximize every bit of that real estate that you can. So anything big and clunky that you can replace with something thinner and better, that just helps for you to have more space to work with and more space to game with. Somebody else got mad. Listen, if you're a gamer, this is not what you do when you get mad. Don't throw your computer. Don't throw it. All right, big props to this person. Although it looks like they snapped their laptop in half, they found a way to make it work. They separated both halves, they put them both together again, and they're still using it. Y'all know I'm a cat mama. I love kitties. I love kitties. This is a cute picture in a way. The cats are very, very cute. But a nerd would be screaming right now. Any nerd who knows anything about computers would be screaming right about now if that was their machine. Just because the cat hair getting into the fan, that would be a nightmare. A cat getting inside of a computer, walking all over the motherboard, this is a nightmare. The kitties are cute, but if you let an animal or anything touch the motherboard, that's going to cause problems. If the cat hair got inside the fan, that's going to cause problems. So thumbs up for the cuteness of the cats, but any nerd that had a tower like this and they did that, be like, no, no. Ah. Well, that's one way to game. You know, talk about a virtual reality experience without buying the headset. That's like a crude version of a virtual reality headset, I'm sure. You know, that makes me nervous. You've got a monitor just precariously balanced on a chair, stool thing. I would be nervous of somebody knocking that over, honestly. This is nightmare fuel. Okay, I have questions. I have questions. Right off the bat, I have questions. So, excuse me, this computer chair looks good. It looks clean. It doesn't look tore up. Why? How can you have this looks okay, But then you got a pile of garbage over here, a pile of garbage over here. How in the world do you game? Where's the space for your mouse and your keyboard? Like, I don't even see a keyboard. Where's the keyboard? Where's your mouse? How do you game? I just can't. I can't imagine gaming and all that. I would just be grabbing a trash bag and getting to work cleaning that up. That's just, that's out of pocket. Now, this is a dedicated gamer. Okay, bro, listen. I give you props for stocking up on your Mountain Dew, your Doritos. You got your raid supplies all ready to go, all stocked up. You were thinking ahead with that, but you're on a laptop and you got it on the floor. You should know better. You can't put a laptop on the floor. It's going to overheat. You got to lift it up. And you know that's going to hurt your back. Crouching down like that for an hour, you know your back's going to hurt. But that's how dedicated this person is to gaming. This is a person that does not want to leave the house for days. They're already prepared. So props to you for your passion, but bro, look at the position you're sitting in. Your back is already curved inward. You know that's going to hurt. You trying to sit cross-legged on the floor like that? That can't be comfortable. That just can't. Well, there goes that gaming system. That's not workable. A melted keyboard, a melted computer. Yeah, that's done. That's a done deal. You can't save that. Yeah, time to clean your room. It's definitely time to clean your room. There's no getting around that. Another like mini battle station with the things on the back to absorb the sound. I like the fact that they've got all this stuff hung up where it's an easy access. Everything is clean, easy to reach. There's no mess anywhere. Can anybody out there that's a gamer explain to me why some gamers take the lid off their machine? Is it to allow for extra airflow? Because I think so, but I'm not sure. I'm not. I'm a geek, but not that much of a geek. Can anybody explain to me why a lot of gamers take the lid off? Is it for aesthetic? Is it just to let more air in so it doesn't overheat? Y'all let me know. But get the gaming chair. This could be cleaned off a bit better. I think it would benefit this person to have an extra monitor. Once they clean this area up, I would like to see it again once it's been a bit improved. Love this. Oh, I love the galaxy on the screensavers. Oh, I love beautiful aesthetics. It just makes for a more immersive experience. This was well done. So this person put a lot of thought into this. Everything works together. You got the one monitor, and this one is obviously for something like Discord. And you've got another monitor over here. So well done on the light blue, baby blue aesthetic. Good. Dear help desk, my computer kept telling me I have an invalid username and password, and now my keyboard doesn't work. Well, it's not going to work if you smash it. Okay, like I said, everybody's got to do what they got to do. You got to use what's available. The first thing that comes to mind with this is a chair that you use to sink into. This is not something you use when you got to sit up and pay attention. This would wreak havoc on your spine. Absolute havoc. Okay. Points for thinking outside the box. I guess their laptop wasn't working, so they went to Home Depot and got this little hinge thing that's meant for a doorway, and they attached it together. Points for creativity. Never seen this before. If it works, it works. It's unusual. But I can appreciate creativity like this. You thought outside the box and it worked. Why? Why put this filter on your system? And I can't. Okay, that person with the concrete blocks. This will be better for you. Milk cartons are much more stable. They lock together and you can stack them up any way you want. I actually have a bookshelf made out of milk cartons. So I applaud this person for using milk cartons, if that's all they had, using milk cartons as a desk, because you can build up other areas using milk cartons and put stuff on them. Like that person could easily take uh, another couple of stacks of milk cartons and put them over here and take this desktop and get it off the floor so it's raised up. I think that would be better for the desktop. But, you know, kudos on thinking creatively with the milk crates. So that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We all needed a break away from Chantal. You know, we just need to get away from her. She did a video today already, but I'm like, screw her. I'm gonna do something fun. I want to laugh today. So I'll cover Chantal in a minute, but I'm doing this first. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have had some fun. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching and have a good one. Bye-bye.